Hawks win! Hawks win! Last game of 2018. We win it in overtime over the Colorado Avalanche on the power play. And we end the 2018 calendar year with a win. Good way to end this year off for the Hawks. And let's take this momentum into 2019, starting at the Winter Classic! Winning over Colorado, shutting down a lethal team who went into this game on a 3-game losing streak, started by the Chicago Blackhawks and Colin Delia again, who started again in net, who most likely will be our starting goalie of the 2019 NHL Winter Classic. And the Hawks take another win from a Central Division rival. It's always good winning against the division. Everyone knows that. And the Hawks have been good against the division. Sorry, my phone just went off because because I guess it wants to keep blaring the horn for the rest of this review. Hawks beating the Avalanche 3-2 in overtime makes it another way to leave this year off on a high note and show the rest of the NHL this team still has something in them to prove. And they are doing that against good teams. And beating the division, that's good. And let's go into the... Okay, I have to say this. Player of the game, hands down, Patrick Kane. 3 points on the night for all 3 goals, and he had a great game, following up his game from the Minnesota Wild with a hat trick. And Colin Delia, another big game in net. He may have let in 2 goals, but he played a hell of a game in net for the Hawks yet again. That's why I feel like he should be starting in net in the 2019 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic. So let's get into the stats of the game, why not? Where are they? There they are. My phone, it's running slow. There we go. Hawks beat the Avalanche in overtime 3-2, as I've said already several times. So, to start the scoring off, 1:46 in regulation, so in the first period, on the power play, the Cat scores his 18th goal of the season, assisted by Patrick Kane on a spinorama to Cat's stick, and Cat buries it. And the other assist went to Dylan Strome. The Hawks tonight had it going for them. The power play was on fire. And at 9:38 in the first period, Patrick Kane with his 21st goal of the season, first of the game, assisted by Artem Anisimov and Dylan Strome. Strome keeps his point streak rolling with being on the Kane-Anisimov line. Kane keeps his point streak going again. DeBrincat extends a point streak of his for him tonight. The Hawks are playing solid hockey, and they are playing their best hockey right now. So this play was all a passing play. Kane received the puck at the blue line, took it up, passed it to Strome. Strome leaves the puck for Anisimov. Anisimov sauces a perfect pass over to Patrick Kane, and Kane buries it past Varlamov, who is known as a Hawks killer. Yes, I'm saying that because he's killed us in every game we really face him when he's in net. And the Hawks managed to take a 2-0 lead over the Avalanche quick before the 10-minute mark in the first period. So at 17:04 in the first period, Mikko Rantanen scores his 17th goal of the season, assisted by Barrie and Landeskog. Yes, they allowed the most deadly line in the NHL to score, and it comes again and bites them in the butt again. So at the end of one, Hawks lead 2-1 over the Colorado Avalanche. So in the second period, at 18:21 in the second period, Nathan MacKinnon scores his 23rd goal of the season, assisted by Nemeth and Andesquito. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, because I think that's how you pronounce it. So it's tied 2-2 going into the third period. And it was back and forth hockey in the third period. No goals scored in the third period, even though the Hawks had a 5-on-3 power play for about a minute and a half. Usually, if you don't score on a 5-on-3, you lose a game. But Colin Delia shuts the door down in the third period and gets us to overtime. Hawks go into overtime with a power play. It was a 4-minute power play because a high stick hit Connor Murphy right in the lip and he got caught. So 4 minutes. So going into the going into overtime with a 2.5-minute power play. So in the power play, in overtime to start the OT, DeBrincat, Taves, Kane, and Gusterson. And Gusterson has been our go-to defenseman on the power plays. And that's why our power play has moved up 7 spots in the past week. That's how lethal the power play's been lately. 7 spots in the last week, where we were dead last in the NHL on the power play. So on the power play, Patrick Kane scores the GWG-NOT on the PP. Scores his 22nd goal of the game and his second of the season. No, second of the game, my bad. Why did I say season? Oh my god. And the assist went to Taves and Gusterson. Good playing around. They got the puck, passing it off, and Kane shot it. Taves regained a rebound. Went up, and it went to Taves. Taves fed it to Kane, and Kane buries it for the GWG. And the Hawks take the win in Colorado to go into Notre Dame on a high note. It's always good to find ourselves on a winning side of the category for the Hawks. And let's go on my 3 stars of the game, because Colorado's bias gave Rantanen the 2nd star of the game when, in my opinion, he doesn't deserve it. So here's my 3 stars. They gave Patrick Kane the 1st star, which is good, that he deserved it. I would have given Colin Delia the 2nd star of the game. He had another solid game in net, and he deserves to have more credit than what they gave him in the NHL. And I will give Jonathan Toews the 3rd star of the night. Taser had a great game all around. Defensively, offensively, he was showing the team was, he got, every time his line was out there, the team was cycling the puck like it was nothing. So I'm giving my 3rd star of the night to Jonathan Toews. Hawks leave Colorado with this victory and goes to South Bend, Indiana on New Year's Day for the Winter Classic now. And let's go to the shots on net for the for this game. In the first period, the Hawks had 15 shots and the Avalanche had 16. Pretty close back and forth hockey. Each had the same amount of shots. Second period, it was dead tied. It was tied flat at 9 for each team. Hawks 9, Colorado 9. Third period, the Hawks started shooting the puck more than Avalanche. They had 11. The Hawks had 11 shots, and the Avalanche had 7. And then overtime to win it, the Hawks had 2, and the Avalanche had 0, because the Hawks ended it off on a power play. So in total, Hawks had 37 shots on net, and the Avalanche had 32. Delia made 30 out of 32 shots. Made 30 saves out of 32 shots, and he had a great game in net yet again. That is why he deserves to be the starting goalie of the 2019 Winter Classic. He well deserves that well deserves being the starting goalie, and I hope he does become it. We'll still find out probably tomorrow or Monday when they have the on Monday when they have the media day where they do the practice on the ice, and then they will go to the media and dress the media, and we'll find out then. But I feel like the Hawks need to start Delia going into the Winter Classic. He's been on his head this entire time with the Blackhawks, and he well deserves it. Tonight's game is another standpoint that the Hawks have stuff to prove, and they did it again by basically beating the Avalanche 2 times in basically a week. They faced each other literally 8 days ago. So basically a week. And it's good getting another victory over a tough opponent in Colorado. You take advantage of games that you need to get up to play. It's hard to win in Colorado because of the lung capacity thing, because of the mile high. You're being a mile above sea level, and you don't have the lung capacity to win games. You lose a ton of weight in those games. Adam Burr said in the preview for this. Adam Burr said this. He lost. On average, whenever the Hawks would play the Avalanche, he would lose like 4 to 5 pounds every time he played there, because you're working so much harder and skating so much harder in Colorado. And it shows, if you can do that, you can win a lot of games. The Hawks winning this game is another standpoint that they don't want to give up their chances on they have a solid roster. And their shutdown defensemen of Murphy and Dahlstrom. Who would have thought that in the beginning of the season, Dahlstrom and Connor Murphy were going to be the shutdown demon of the team? Well, it's happened. And the Hawks are showing that they don't want to quit. They are playing their best hockey, and they don't have that quit identity that they did for the first month and a half that from first month and a half since Colleton came into the team. They are finding their stride. They're finding that spark, and that's a good thing. Going into this game and going into the year of 2019 after winning their final game of the year of 2018, it's great to see that. They look like they're finally having fun on the ice. I am so happy that this is happening to the team. They need this more and more. It makes watching the Hawks a lot more fun, as you know. Winning always does, but it makes the fans have more appreciation to the team by showing that they are not wanting to quit. I love that. That's a thing that a team needs. A spark that boosted any team from a quit identity to a don't give up, we can still win this thing, is always the best. For the fans, for the players, and for anyone who's not even a fan of the team. It's always the best to see a team without going into a game and quitting after they gave up a tying goal. And they gave up a tying goal. But they took that and they threw it away and they ended up winning the game. So, anytime the Hawks, like this season where it's been tough to get victories for a while until the past few weeks, it's always good to see a Hawks victory. And I've been saying that a lot. So, Hawks win 3-2 over the Avalanche. It's great. And it was an overtime. Overtimes are always fun. And you get a point out of it, and you get you can steal 2 points.